Hi, boys and girls of Class 3A. This is Miss Lily. It's a pity that we could not have a face-to-face paper checking section together. But under this critical situation, knowing that you all stay safe at home watching this video means the world to me. So this is the paper checking section for paper 2, writing. And I am happy to tell you that I know most of you have worked really hard on it, and some of your hard work paid off. Okay, so keep trying. Now let's begin. If you still remember, part 8. Part A is the task for passive voice. Okay, passive voice. Now, before we are going to do some common error checking, I'm going to review. Let's have a very quick review on passive voice. Okay, passive voice. Now, passive voice is used to place focus. Okay, usually it is used to place focus on the object rather than the subject. It is made with the auxiliary verb to be, auxiliary verbs, verb to be's, and the past participle. The auxiliary verb shows the tense. Okay, just like this. So the form is like this. This is the form. We have the passive subject, and plus a form of the verb be, and then plus a past participle. And if you want to show the person or the thing doing the action, then you can add this part, okay, at the end of the sentence, adding by. Excuse me. So I'm going to show you some examples of passive voice in different tenses. So for example, number 1, the rubbish is collected every day, present tense. Number 2, my suit is being cleaned, present continuous tense. Number 3, he was invited to the party, simple past tense. Number 4, the building was being renovated, past continuous tense. Number 5, 2 men have been arrested, present perfect tense. Number 6, your request will be dealt with shortly, future tense. Okay, so I'm sure you must have run about right now, okay, what you have learned throughout these weeks. Okay, so let's take a look at the sentences and see what you can find. Okay, now, okay, what color? Okay, I'm going to pick black this time. Now let's look at question number 1. The Wright brothers invented the first aeroplane. The verb invented was highlighted, okay, to give you a hint. Now you have to ask yourself, what tense does invented, the verb invented, tell you? Okay, is it present tense or past tense? Now, some of your answers, this is your answers, sorry, I missed out the R. Now, some of your answers wrote like this: the first aeroplane is invented by the Wright brothers. So what's wrong with that? Now, the sentence structure of the structure of this sentence, okay, is actually very good. Okay, it follows the structure, the right structure of passive voice. But one really crucial thing you have to pay attention is the verb to be. Okay, the wrong use of the verb to be. It is not the right tense. Okay, so it should be was, the singular was, because the aeroplane, one aeroplane only, singular. Okay, so in the followings we're going to look at the other 5 sentences, and then we will look at your answers, and then we will try to see how we can improve how we can improve that sentence. Okay, so question number 2, all the students enjoyed the sponsored run last Monday. Your answers, you wrote the sponsored run was enjoyed by all the students last Monday. So I guess you spotted out that the problem is on the verb form again. Now was, this time the verb to be is correct because it is a past tense verb in the original sentence in the active voice, and then singular subject, so we use was. But what about enjoy? Should we do something about this? Yes, you're right. So we need to change enjoy into the past participle form, which is enjoyed. We just need to add ed to it. Now question 3, our school will hold a 12-hour fast next week. Will hold. Ask yourself, what tense is that? I know, it's future tense, right? So when you change the active voice of future tense to passive voice, you should keep the tense. Okay, you should not change the tense at all. So your answer, you wrote a 12-hour fast is holded by our school next week. Now, first of all, it should be future tense, right? We talk about, and then for the future tense passive voice, we add will be. Okay, we use will be. Okay, plus the PP of hold. Do you recall the PP of hold? Let's rehearse. Okay, so it should be hold, held, held. Okay, so it should be HELD, but we don't have hold it. Okay, but nice try, because you have the mindset of, turning it into a PP. That's a very nice attempt. And then question 4, the vet will put the cats in a cage tomorrow. Again, it's future tense. And some of your answers wrote the cats are put in. Okay, it should be in. Sorry, my typo. In a cage by the vet tomorrow. So now again, it's the same case. You change the tense. You don't follow the original the original tense of the sentence, and this is not okay. Okay, so the cat will be put. No change for the verb put. Okay, because this for the verb, the word put, it has all the three the same in 3 categories. It's simple present tense, past tense, and past participle. So that's why we say put. Okay, it's very, very easy to remember. And question number 5, why WCA helps many teenagers every year? It is simple present tense, and it should you should see the simple present passive voice form. Okay, let's see if we can see this. Okay, your answer, you wrote many teenagers is helped by YWCA every year. Yes, this is present tense. Very good, well done. But now here is the case. Now you have to pay attention. Once you use the correct tense, you have to check the subject-verb agreement. Now many teenagers are plural subject. Is should be followed by the singular subject. So in this case, we should use are, okay, to match with the to match with the plural subject. Okay, the last one. My family runs a charity concert every summer. Now your answer, some of you wrote, our charity concert was run by my family every summer. When we talk about something, we do regularly, it's a habit. So that's why we use present tense. So in the passive form, we should keep the tense as well. So instead of using it was, we should use a singular verb form of is. Okay, to match with the singular subject. All right, so this is part A. Now let's go to part B. Oh, let's go to the other part. How can I move this one? Oh, I know that. Second page. Now for part B, you were asked to write a newsletter article. Now let's go through the questions together to recall your memory. You are Chris Wong. You have participated in a charity event recently. Now participate means you join, okay? You have joined in a charity event recently, okay? Not long ago. You are writing an article for the school newsletter about your experience. In your article, you have to give an interesting title with a byline. You should talk about first the details of the event, like when was it, where was it, who were there, okay, and what did you do. And second, you have to share your personal experiences, okay, something that you did, okay, during that charity event, like how much money did you spend for the charity sale, or how far did you run, okay, or did you how far did you finish for the sponsored run. And lastly, you have to encourage readers, that means me, okay, the one reading your article, to take part in similar future events, okay. Make sure that you have include all three items in your school newsletter, okay. So let's see some of let's look at the general comments, okay. These are the general comments. I've marked all your writings, and these are the general comments that I would like to tell you. Now in general, the pro side is, now most of you used an appropriate title, okay, so you actually had a sense, okay, to use the right title for your newsletter article, which is really good. I'm really happy for it, for that. Like, okay, let's join Ching Chong Fun Fair. Wow, okay. Ching Chong Fun Fair. That's a good name. And then a fun charity sale. Okay? Something like that. Okay? Just make it interesting, be creative, as long as it's related to the charity event. Okay? And a byline. Okay? And this time, the byline, it will be very appropriate for you to write your name. Okay? Because you're the author for the news article. Okay, and then second point, I can see that, okay, I can tell that you attempted, okay, most of you, you knew that, most of you attempted to make use of the core vocabulary in Unit 4. I could see that you tried, okay, you tried. Now, even though some of you may spell the words wrongly, but still, it's a very good attempt. Now, some of you were aware to use past tense to share the experience at the charity event, which is really good. I'm very impressed. Now, we are not talking about, okay, I am very impressed of your awareness of using the past tense, okay, even though, that the usage, the sentence structures may not be right, but that's a very good attempt again. Now, a few of you remember to share your own experience and encourage others to join similar events in the future. So some of you shared that you took part in a charity sale and you helped sell cookies, which is really good. And then you shared the details on how much money you raised for the charity, and then you asked the readers, that means me, to join. I hope that you could join this. I hope that we can join similar events in the future together, which is really good, okay? Okay, and then most of you used paragraphs to separate ideas. Now, organization is very important. having a good organization is very important in writings, because that will make your readers understand what you are writing better. Okay, so that's a very good attempt, to remember that you need to use paragraphs to separate ideas. Now let's go to some of the areas that you need to improve. Now, to start with, I know that you tried very, very hard to do the above things, but still, not enough of words. It also means that you may not have enough content to not enough of content to share with me, so that not enough by saying that not enough of content, then I may it is not the task is not fulfilled. Okay, so I'm afraid to say that you need to plan very well and try to think of more details for each of your ideas, okay, to elaborate more, to give me more examples, or share some of the I don't know, just think of the event that you took part in, some funny parts, some sad parts, or something something happens suddenly. Okay, just you have to go into details so that you share more with me. Otherwise I cannot give you very high marks on content. Okay, and it's like I said, good attempt, but most of the times you may have careless spelling mistakes made, just like foods. I guess this is volunteers, and I know this is received. Okay, it's just pay attention on the sentence structures and also the vocabulary that you use in your writing, because that may, if your writing contains a lot of careless mistakes, that may affect the reader's understanding, okay, and also the impression. Okay, all right, so let's go through some of the common errors found in your writings. Now, the first one, the event was held at 1st of June in 2020. All right, so I underlined the mistakes, okay, for you to have a go easily. Okay, do you know what it should be? That's right, so before a date, we should use the preposition, the wrong usage of preposition. We should use on. Okay, on. The event was held on the 1st of June 2020. And then number 2, first, me, other volunteers, and single parents were started to get ready for the sale. I can guess what you were trying to say, okay, which is a really nice attempt. But I want you to pay attention for the subject, okay, for the subject. This is kind of like Chinglish, okay? In Chinese, I think we will say something like that, but in English, we are very humble, we are always very humble. So that's why we always go at the end, okay, at the end. And remember, this part is the subject part. So you should, instead of using the object me, you should say other volunteers and single parents. I should say something like that. Other volunteers, single parents, and I were started. It's a passive voice. It's a passive voice verb. Okay, it's a passive voice verb. But do we need to use passive voice here? In an active sentence, because you are saying that you people are doing something, okay, are getting ready for something. So I think this sentence should be active voice. It is in active voice, so no passive voice verb should be included. Okay, so you should say something like that. First, other volunteers, single parents, and I started to get ready for the sale. That makes much more sense. Okay. And then number 3, a lot of kind heart people joined the event and helped raise money for the charity. Now I'm sure you get this right because these are the core vocabulary that we learn in Unit 4. Now kind heart, I don't think we have this term, but the adjective should, this word kind-hearted should spell like this. Okay, to use it as an adjective to describe people with a caring, loving heart. And since the event was in the past tense should be used, and we should add ed to helped as well. Okay, because it's in the past action. Now number 4, we could put some things in there, but because they were so cheap. Okay, now this is the very typical spelling mistakes that I'm talking about. Now I know that you kind of remember how to spell the words, but you really have to double check it. These are really careless mistakes. I know that you meant to say something like that. We could buy some things in there because they were so cheap. Okay, longer vowels. And number 5, charities that the money went to, YWCA and Red Cross. Now this sentence doesn't really make sense because something is missing in between. Now charity that the money went to, now that the money went to, it's an embedded phrase, okay, to the whole sentence. It's a clause. Okay, it's a clause. So if you take this clause out, then you find that there's no verb in the sentence. So charities, YWCA and Red Cross. Now that doesn't really make sense, does it? So we need to add the verb included. Okay, included. Okay, so the whole sentence should be like this: charities that the money went to included YWCA and Red Cross. Okay, now for this case, I know it's very complicated, but just remember that this is the clause, okay, embedded, the clause to the sentence, and this is the main verb of the sentence. So it doesn't really apply the two infinitive terms, okay, right here in this sentence. Okay, now for number 6, the people involved were volunteers, teachers, students. Ooh, very clear. Okay, very clear, very neat, but just one minor thing. Okay, minor thing you have to pay attention is every time when you're listing, something, okay, a list of things, remember you have to use an. Add an, to before the last item that you share. Okay, like volunteers, teachers, and students. Okay, something like that, like apples, strawberries, and bananas. Okay, and number 7, the books, toys, and clothes, see, look at that, were bought by some single parents and people from the community. I can see that's a very nice passive voice sentence used. Okay, very nice attempt. And in the original context, okay, I remember, I know that it looks okay. Yes, it looks okay. But the original, coming from the context, yes, this is right. The books, toys, and clothes were bought by some single parents and people from the community. Now, in the based on this sentence is correct. But based on the original context was meant to say something like people brought, okay, the used books, toys, and secondhand clothes to sell. So just for the original context, I just want to say that this is a minor spelling mistakes. But when you just look at this sentence, this is a very good sentence used in you. This is a very good sentence. Yeah, very good passive voice sentence. Yes. Okay, and then number 8. I hope more people will participate in these events. Now that will be the agreement, the problem with agreement, because when you say these, I expect there is an S, okay, in the noun, okay, in the noun that you mentioned, okay, or maybe this event, singular, okay. Now number 9, I took part to a charity event in my school. Now we don't have took part to, we only have took part in, okay. Took part in, that's a phrasal verb. You have to memorize it, okay. It means participate, it means join, okay, join. So pay attention to that. I took part in a charity event in my school. Number 10, we were raised over $10,000 for charity. Good for you. But I am thinking $10,000. Who raised 10,000? Who helped raise $10,000? It's not. I think it's you, right? It's we people, right? So I think for this sentence, it should be used in active voice, okay, in active voice instead of passive voice, okay. So the sentence should sound like this: we raised over $10,000 for charity. All right, so we have gone through these very common errors, okay, which are found in your writings, and if you have any more problems concerning your writing paper and other things related to English, or you would like to share your life with me, please feel free to WhatsApp me or call me, okay. Now until then, I want you to stay safe at home and try to relax, okay. Try to relax and not to worry too much. And to cheer you up, I'm sure you remember you're going to finish your summer holiday homework before the school term starts. I really hope that we can see each other when the school term starts, okay? So fingers crossed.